The Deep End Podcast. Welcome to the Deep End Podcast, brought to you by Waters Church in North Attleboro, Massachusetts. The Deep End is where we go deeper into the scriptures to empower our walk with God. If you're watching on Facebook Live, we're glad you joined us, and we encourage you to be a part of the conversation in the comments below. If you're listening on SoundCloud or your podcast app, be sure to stay connected with us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Let's go live to Pastor Tim Hatch as we get started with today's podcast. This is The Deep End.
Oh gosh. Sorry about that again, everybody. Well, joining us today in our studio, we have Nicole Nichols, who is our children's director here at Waters Church, and also we have Marianne Parsons joining me again today in the studio. Today we are doing a women takeover again. If you missed the last one that we did, I just did a shout out to all the women at Waters Church who do so much here during the week and behind the scenes to make the weekend happen here at Waters Church. There's a lot of women who are awesome, who do a great job. We have 2 other campuses, and there's a lot of women who are volunteer there and just do so much behind the scenes. So we just want to do a shout out and thank to all the women at Waters Church. Okay, well today we are, right now we are entering into the new season, which is fall and winter, and we are starting to make plans for Thanksgiving and for Christmas. A lot of that excitement in the air, but also a lot of stress and anxiety that comes with that. So we're going to talk to you today about stress, anxiety that comes with the holiday season. But before we do that, I wanted to just talk to you guys a little bit about what you're doing for the holiday season. Nicole, what are your plans for Thanksgiving?
Well, actually, this year we're doing something a little different. We are heading down to Connecticut to be with my brother's girlfriend's family. They're throwing a traditional Thanksgiving, and we are invited, so I'm excited for food.
That sounds awesome. How about you, Marianne?
Nice. Well, Thanksgiving, we usually have, every year we have both of our families over for our house, and I don't cook, because if I did, we'd be at the 99 having dinner. But I do have a father-in-law that lives with us, and he does a great job cooking the turkey and everything. We just clean up, and then afterward, we go to a family movie together.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
And this year, my family, we're excited to have my sister and her husband joining us from Florida. This is the first time in about, I want to say maybe 7 or 8 years that I'll have my sister with us, so that's going to be exciting. But I also have another question for you guys around the holidays. Real tree or fake tree?
Well, we've always done a real tree as a married couple. But I'll have to say, this past couple of years, I just can't do the needles anymore. Can't do the water. I'm the one that does it all. So yeah. I don't want to sweep up. I don't want to water the tree. I'm afraid of fire too. So I just prefer.
How about you, Nicole?
Fake.
Real or fake?
I love the real tree. I love going out in the cold, putting on the mittens and the coat, and going to pick your tree, putting it on top of the car, bringing it in. I love setting it up. I love the needles. I love the smell. I love the sap. I love every part of it.
No, I agree. There's nothing like the real Christmas tree. But if you are like us and have a fireplace in your living room, by the end of within the 30 days of having your tree up, our tree literally is like flammable. Hold match that thing with flame. Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, man.
So I wanted to get a fake tree this year, but my husband, he's all about the real.
Mm-hmm.
So there's so many fun family traditions and fun things that go along with the holiday season. Do you guys have any memorable Christmas traditions, fun family things that you guys would do around Christmas?
Yeah. When I was a kid growing up, it was always at my grandmother's house. Everybody, all the relatives, cousins, aunts, everybody would gather there, big table in the basement, get together. Food was, we came from an Italian family, so of course the food was just nonstop food, and just family fun together. That was very memorable for me. I really enjoyed my family Christmas growing up.
One of my most memorable Christmases was when I don't even know how old I was, maybe 6, 7. Well, I grew up in South Africa, and of course Christmas is in the summertime, so we would be able to get all those fun Christmas presents, like bikes, roller skates. So my most memorable Christmas was when I got a pair of bright yellow roller skates, and we had to go to church. I knew that I had to wait all through the long Christmas service before I could go home and try my new roller skates out. And we had a small little patio. It'd be 4x4, and I just rode my roller skates round and round. I remember that like it was yesterday. Very memorable. Mm-hmm. How about you?
Well, my birthday's the day before Christmas, so every year, obviously, I would turn an older year. And so it was always really cool. We would have family over, or we would go visit family, and it was always just full of family the entire week. People come around to visit, to say happy birthday, to give presents, to come over, just eat. So we've always had like it full with family. Now that we're older, we go to visit the family in Boston and all of that, and it's really cool. It's really cool.
Yeah. So Christmas is the common theme here is creating memories, nostalgia, and spending time with our families. But today we wanted to also talk to you about the real stresses of Christmas, and we have a short little video clip that we want to play for you.
Gotta clean the house now, people! I want this place looking like Disney on Ice in 1 minute. Terry, if you haven't made your bed, throw it away. It's too late to make it now. Company is coming. Get rid of the couches. We can't let people know we said the chairs need to be pushed in. There cannot be any sign of living in this house. I don't care if we have to throw everything out. I want this place looking like a new Mediterranean fusion restaurant by noon. David, I cannot have beds. We need more pillows. David, I cannot stress this enough. I need those things looking pumped. I need those things looking fluffed. I want the toilet looking like one of those chairs from the Men in Black headquarters. We need more bird feeders. I need a bird feeder at every window. Knobs. David, put seashells on the doorknobs. We can't have any clothes. Everybody take off your clothes. This is a dish towel. We need a hand towel. What are we, barbarians? But it's too late. Oh! David, there's muffins on the counter. Muffins. Oh! This isn't happening. Oh my God. We have to go into the witness protection program, folks.
Oh.
Okay, get over the rescue again. Where's my family?
I can relate to that. You?
Yes.
Oh, I can relate to that. Get the muffins and cookies off the counter.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. Does that remind you of anybody?
That's kind of like me.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that video is just a little clip of the humorous side of what we go through around the holidays and how we stress. And so today we wanted to talk with you a little bit about the stresses of the holidays, and we also want to share some helpful tips on what you can do to combat that. Okay, so as we said earlier, the holidays are a great time to be around your families and to be celebrating those events. So, did you want to add something?
Oh, no, I just thought maybe you'd want, if you had some facts you wanted to share about.
I do, actually. Okay, so 45%, so these are the fun, interesting facts that we came across on the internet. 45% of Americans would prefer to cancel Christmas around the holiday.
Wow.
That's really sad.
Yeah.
Okay. 69% feel stressed by the feeling of lack of time. That's totally me. These are some interesting facts. 65% of the people who stress the most are Gen Xers. So that's me. 62% are the baby boomers. That would be Marianne.
That'd be me.
And 61% the least stressed are the millennials. All right. So another interesting fact is that money is one of the top leading causes of stress during the holidays. 35% of people worry about eating healthy, and other stress factors would be family drama. I don't have that stress. Millennials stress over time that they spend at work. And another stress factor would be our routines are interrupted by guests, parties, and we worry about how we change our sleep, work, and exercise in unhealthy ways. I don't know if you guys can relate to any of that.
Yeah.
I definitely can.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Especially the money part.
Yeah.
Yep, the money part.
Absolutely. So we wanted to just so as we were saying earlier, stress is just one of the biggest factors around the holidays. Not only stress, anxiety and depression. A lot of people may struggle with depression. This may be a very real reminder of that person, like you said earlier, Nicole, that person who's going through a loss in the family, that there's an empty seat at the table now. So I know Chris McEwen, who works on staff, if you're watching, Chris, hi, who works on staff, has often shared that this is a very tough time for him with his mother passed away around Christmas time. So people are really struggling with sadness around this time of the year. But we wanted to go into how we're going to deal with stress and how are we going to, some helpful tips on how we can help you with that. So we're going to give you 5 or 6 steps on how to do this, okay? So number 1, we want to talk about delegating. So Nicole, can you speak on that?
So delegating is really important when you have a lot of things to do. Like I know, Marianne, you talk about how you kind of map out everything that you need to do. Delegating is very important to just make sure you don't end up with the lion's share of all of the work. That means that if you are responsible for cooking everything, then have someone else purchase something for you. Like when the kids are coming in, you know, your teens, they have their licenses now. Have her pick up a couple of the apple pies for you or the recipes for the cookies or whatever you're doing. Just, you know, don't end up being the same person who's cooking and washing and standing in line and, you know, doing all of that, because that can be really stressful.
Yeah, I agree. I also want to just add to that, though, be very mindful of how you delegate. If you're going to delegate something, be wise. I would never delegate my husband to go grocery shopping for me. For my Christmas, as far as the groceries for cooking for my Christmas dinner, because I know inevitably he might come home with things that are not on the list or things that I didn't want or, you know, in not the right way. So be mindful of how you delegate.
Yeah, like what if you get that person to bring squash and they're 3 hours late for dinner?
Not right.
What do you do then?
You're not having squash.
I guess you're not having squash.
Exactly. But you don't need to. You were sharing earlier, Marianne, that you're very good at preparing ahead.
Yeah.
So you don't necessarily have to delegate per se because you don't have that many people to delegate to in your house. But what do you do? What do you do?
No, I do a lot of planning ahead. I like to, you know, having all these holiday parties at our house and everything, I like to map everything out. I plan ahead. You know, I get my calendar. My favorite thing is my phone reminder. You know, hey Siri, remind me A, B, and C. You know, so I do a lot of things ahead of time. I map it out on a calendar, and then a couple weeks ahead of time, I say, okay, I have to do this next week. Well, then this week, when am I going to do A, B, and C? So plan it all ahead.
And I'm very bad at that. I'm such a procrastinator. I do everything at the very last minute. So I'm going to have to talk to you about how to plan ahead and getting myself organized.
I mean, it's not easy to do, but you know, you just buckle down, take a few minutes out of every day, and just say, hey, what am I going to do tomorrow for my party I'm having on the weekend? Because we do a lot of holiday in our house because you guys do,
and you entertain a lot.
We entertain a lot
during the holidays.
We don't have any house other to go to than ours for family, you know, Christmas and Thanksgiving. So I've got to be ahead of myself.
So Nicole, what does delegation look like in your you come from, your mom is a single mom. She is a single mom. And so what does that look like in your house?
That means we share the load. That means that, I mean, we both work a lot. And I mean, for holidays, like it's not just her job to cook and set up and prepare and purchase. So I will purchase things. She'll write me a list to make sure that I get the right things.
Yeah.
But that means that maybe I'm doing the turkey, or maybe I'm doing one of the many dishes, or I'm buying all the ingredients, or I'm on cleanup duty, or I'm on cleaning the house duty. Like I'm doing something so that she doesn't end up feeling like she has to do all of it.
Right.
So I think it's really cool. And I mean, I've gained a lot of experience. The first year I did a turkey, I think it was 4 years ago, and I was overwhelmed. I was like, I've never done this before, but it was cool. It was a cool experience. So
that's awesome. Delegation in my household would look like my kids doing chores, helping out with cleaning the house, you know, doing all that kind of stuff. My kids don't like to cook, so I don't really get to delegate them on that end, but have your kids help you out. There's nothing wrong with telling them they have to be a part of the holiday experience by helping you out.
Absolutely.
Okay, so number 2, the second point that we have for you is to be realistic with your expectations. We want to talk a little bit to you today about your budgeting. This is, as we said earlier, this is such a huge stress factor during the holiday season with not just women, men as well, and with all generational, because money can cause us a lot of anxiety. So here at Waters Church, we are very passionate about Dave Ramsey. We have, of course, Financial Peace, but he also has a website, a blog on his website called, what is it called, Nicole? You have
it is the Christmas budget you've always wanted.
Okay, the Christmas budget you've always wanted. Don't you want a great Christmas budget?
Yes.
But this is a great website to look up because it gives you some great ideas on how to budget during the holiday season. People really fall into debt during this time of the year. And so we wanted to just share with you a little bit of our, tips and helpful ideas of what to do and how you can rein yourself in during the holidays. Nicole, you shared a great tip with me earlier, or a great thing that you do with your small group.
So
as a millennial.
So last year at our small group, we did a like sock swap. So we basically took we got a pair of like fuzzy socks, nice socks, and we filled them with little items for $10. And we put like lip balm, hand creams, just a bunch of like little things that, you just say like, hey, like I'm thinking about you. I'm acknowledging you, but I'm not going to go broke for you because
I like
one
that.
of the things, again, like with millennials, I think like, I don't know, I'm paying off 2 school loans. Like I don't have time to or money to like give every single person who I think about $20 gifts. I just can't. But for those special few people who I'm like, I see you every week or you're a part of my life, like I want to give you something that says, hey.
I love that.
Yeah.
If my small group is watching, we're doing sock swap this year. That's a great idea. I love it.
I mean, there are so many different ideas that you can do, not just the sock swap, but like you said earlier too. And then you have one that you brought in as well. Show us yours real quick, Mary.
Oh, okay, sure. This is a really cool idea, and it's real simple. It's a less than 5-minute project. It is a facial scrub, or a body scrub that you can give. Comes in a nice, you buy the mason jar. They're like real cheap. Maybe you can buy that for under $1.
Just hold that little tag up to the, there you go.
Here it is. So what it is, it's just coconut oil, lemon extract in this one, and sugar. And you mix it together. It takes 2 minutes to mix together. Pour it in a jar. Put a little tag on it. Put what you have inside. You can Google the recipe online. You're just going to Google, homemade face scrub, and you'll
Pinterest.
It's real easy to make, and literally this is less than $2 right here.
So the great thing about these kinds of gifts is that there's so many people that kind of fall into the list of people that you need to get, like the bus driver, the teachers. I mean, all the people that you got that really.
The milkman.
Who has a milkman anymore?
Okay, we do.
But all the people, your hairdressers, things like that, where you it's not, you don't have to do it, but it's etiquette. It's nice to do that. So I like that idea of you don't have to go out and spend
like simple
$20.
gifts.
Yeah,
Small
and
things.
things that say, I was thinking about you,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't have to go. I don't want to go broke for you.
I love that.
So
Absolutely.
But like we said earlier, money is one of the biggest stressors during the holidays, and there's so many ways. Go onto Pinterest. There's tons of ways that you can do little things in a great way for a little bit of money.
And incidentally, Financial Peace starts again in January, so you
awesome.
can sign up with us. We'd love to.
Yeah, Dave
Have you
Ramsey
take that
is
class.
fantastic. It's a great way to de-stress your life, not even just during the holiday season, but all year round. Get your finances in order.
Yes.
Okay, so number 3, which is going to kind of go hand in hand with what we just talked about with the finances, is to be honest with yourself. Right? Marianne, you just nodded really big with that. So can you share a little bit about that?
Just be honest. Like, realize that you can't do everything, and realize you don't have to spend all that money. Like in our family, we pick names.
Yeah.
We don't buy each other gifts. We pick a name, and that's it. You stick to that one name and that price cap, and that's it.
Yeah, I think I like the idea of not having to buy, like, say if you have cousins, nephews, whatever, set a limit of, okay, when are we going to do the cutoff of we have to buy every single kid a gift. A great way to do it, as you just said, is to do a family Yankee swap. Kids love that.
Yep.
Families love that.
That's
you don't have to
fun.
buy every single person a gift. Or do family swaps. Do like maybe set a budget for $50 and just buy one. Everybody pulls a name. That's awesome. Also, there's there are ways that you can make it a little bit more easier on yourself as well, is by buying gifts like e-cards. That's a great way. Shopping online.
Absolutely.
Another great way.
I love shopping. I love when the little box comes to the house.
Oh yeah.
You don't have to wait in line.
I better take Financial Peace. No, kidding.
Oh, yeah. But there's many ways that you can do that. All right. So then number 4, just say no. Don't overcommit yourself. There's so many things that are going on during the holiday season that you feel you have to be committed to, but you have to learn how to say no to some of the things. Nicole, you're good at that. So share with us.
She's very good at that.
I am. So obviously, like, during this time season, everyone's home from for Christmas break, for Thanksgiving break. And, people want to do things. So you'll log onto Facebook and you have the Facebook events, and you've been invited to 5 different events, and, you don't have time for all 5 of them.
Well, another great benefit of not being on Facebook is to not have to be invited to all these things.
Or if you do, you can just ignore the invite. No, just kidding. I'm sorry. If I
can
ignored
see
your
when you've
event,
seen
I'm
it.
sorry, but
Oh,
I
they
probably
can't?
couldn't
Yes.
go.
Yes, they can see when you've seen the event. But you can just say, hey, like, I'm not able to go. I mean, you pick the ones you obviously want to go to, but if you've been invited to some things you're not really close to that person, you're just being invited to be a number to make their event bigger, you don't have to go. You can pick which ones you really want to go to and
Right.
spend your time relaxing. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's true. You don't have to overcommit yourself to
Yeah.
all these events, Christmas things.
I love
that you-
events, though.
Well, that's not a stress factor
No,
for you.
it's not really a stress factor. We don't have young kids at home, so we don't have to find babysitters or be home early. Or we just love going out. We love entertaining. So
It's kind of hard when you have a toddler.
past those years.
Yeah. But yeah, you know, but like we said, just say no. Don't overcommit yourself. And then number 5, don't should on yourself.
Definitely.
You don't have to do all these things that are put upon us, especially as moms and as, especially as moms, I would say. Like, you don't have to
Yeah. Well,
tip the
one
mailman. You don't have to. You don't have to
don't
do
have
that.
to. It's nice to, but you
It's
don't have
nice
to.
to.
But even the 100 Christmas cards that people send out don't stress yourself out and send out 100. That's too much money. Send out 10. Pick
Yeah.
10 or 15 people on your list that you like to send a card to, and just stick to that.
Right.
Again, the just say no thing, and don't should on yourself because you didn't send the 100 out. It's okay.
Exactly.
It's okay not
Well,
to.
one of the things that I used to stress myself out so tremendously was those Christmas cards with the kids perfectly posed.
And the dog.
Oh,
We don't have a dog. But
It's my dog.
one of those, that's just stressed me out every year. I was like, oh my gosh, I got to get this picture now.
Yeah, the outfits matching and everyone has to
Oh.
like
Well,
sit still.
I didn't do the matching outfits, but yeah, exactly. Sit still. The kids are like, I don't want to do. I just completely stopped doing that. I don't have any.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if you don't get a Christmas card with my kids on it anymore, but it was too stressful to get that organized. So you don't have to. You don't have to should on yourself.
Right. Exactly.
Okay. So I mean, I don't know, Nicole. Are there any things that you put on yourself that you don't necessarily need to?
I mean, besides, I think the pressure of gift giving. I mean, I was in Target the other day, and going to Target without a plan is always a bad idea.
Oh, or home goods
Yes.
Oh, home goods. Yeah, that's
gives you a
stay
stomachache.
out.
Yes.
Leave the will.
But I was just wandering through, as we do, and I went to that little that little aisle that they always dress up, the festive aisle, like the
Yes.
you can get little
Oh,
craft
I
supplies.
know.
Yes. So I was wandering through that, and I started picking out a bunch of those. They have this little mini Christmas stockings now. I'm like, they're so cute. And I was like, I don't even know who I'm gonna buy them for. I'm gonna stuff them with things. I just put 20 of them in my cart. And I
Oh
looked at
my
myself and I
gosh.
was like, Nicole, you don't.
You don't have to shop with kids. That's why
Yeah.
you have that liberty.
But I put them back and I was like, I don't even know who I'm getting these for. Like, what are you doing? So but you feel pressured to if someone hands you a gift, you have to have something to hand back.
yeah.
Like, even if you didn't think about them,
That's actually a really good topic to talk about. Like, if somebody gives you a gift, what is the proper thing to do? Should you go out and go get them a gift, or what do you guys think about that?
Personally, I don't think you have to, but I know people do stress out about that.
Yeah.
You know what to do? Make a few of these little things at home. Keep them in your closet. If somebody comes over with a gift, say here. Or we used to when we were newly married. We would be the people who, if you brought a gift, we'd have to give you something. So we'd
Yeah.
when we went to Target or whatever, we'd buy chocolate. It's cheap. Just keep some
Chocolate is
chocolate
always
or
a good-
peanuts or something in your closet.
Peanut allergy.
No,
but
hey,
chocolate
here,
is always a-
we got you this lovely peanut thing. So I don't know. You don't have to, but if you feel it, then
That's the interesting thing about Christmas time too. There's so many unspoken rules, right?
Right.
Of what you should do and what you shouldn't do, and who says you have to do that? We do that to ourselves.
yes.
So yeah, no, and so lastly, when we want to talk about today is how you should lend a helping hand or serve during the holiday season. It's so important to do that, and we wanted to talk a little bit today about volunteering and giving. What is one of the ministries that we now are doing at Waters Church?
right now we have something called Lenore's Pantry, and if you
Not
want
Lenora.
Lenore, I did say Lenore, Lenore. They're right here in North Attleboro at the town hall, and we as a church, and not just during the holidays, but ongoing, we as a church are collecting canned goods, non-perishables, even gift cards. So if you especially with anxiety, depression, stress, great way to relieve all that and like is don't focus on yourself. Don't focus on your own problems or struggles. Focus on somebody else.
Exactly.
And that will definitely help you through, serving, giving. Be generous.
Getting involved with the ministry will definitely alleviate the loneliness too, because you're going to be surrounded by people who are all thinking about somebody else.
Yep.
So that's really cool.
No, absolutely.
Exactly.
I just want to wrap this up a little bit and share with you what the Bible says in Matthew 6 about worry and about stress. Matthew 6:25 says, "So I tell you, don't worry about the food or drink you need to live, or about the clothes you need for your body. Life is more than food, and the body is more than clothes. Look at the birds in the air. They don't plant or harvest or store food in barns, but your heavenly Father feeds them. And you know that you are worth much more than birds. You cannot add any time to your life by worrying about it," which is what we do. "And why do you worry about clothes? Look at how the lilies in the fields grow. They don't work or make clothes for themselves, but I tell you that even Solomon with his riches was not dressed as beautifully as one of these flowers. God clothes the grass in the fields, which is alive today, but tomorrow is thrown into the fire. So you can be even more sure that God will clothe you. Don't have so little faith. Don't worry and say, what will we eat, or what will we drink, or what will we wear? The people who don't know God keep trying to get these things, and your Father in heaven knows you need them. Seek first the kingdom and what God wants, then all your needs will be met as well. Don't worry about tomorrow, because tomorrow will have its own worries. Each day has enough of its own trouble." Isn't that so true?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that, how God, compares us to the lilies in the field. I mean, what could be more beautiful than the flowers? And God takes care of those. Why wouldn't he take care of us?
Absolutely.
And we add so much unnecessary stress and worrying about things that haven't even happened, things that don't, that haven't even come to pass. We worry about and stress over, and we need to worry about today.
Mm-hmm.
So, as we wrap this up, we want to, if you have any questions or comments, we'd love to hear them. We'd like to answer some of your questions. Do we have any questions?
Don't see any questions here at the moment, but feel free to make a comment.
As we wrap this up, we just want to, remind you that there's so many more important things than worrying about what gifts you're going to give to others, and it's all about families. Spend your time with those that you love. You can't.
Yeah, do what's important.
Exactly.
In our family and getting together and
get involved here at Waters Church
Yes.
in our ministries that we have with Lenore's Pantry. There's so many more things. And I'm excited to announce, too, that in January, we're going to be partnering with the state of Massachusetts in fostering kids. So that's exciting. I can't wait for that. I know that there's a lot of people that are excited about that. These are things that are right in our backyard. Lenore's Pantry right here in North Attleboro. I know it's awesome that we do those shoe boxes, but it's amazing that we can be here for our brothers and sisters, our neighbors right here
in the community.
in our community. And so also the fostering thing is going to be fantastic. I just can't wait. I'm excited.
Yeah, lots of people. I've been hearing a lot of buzz about that. Lots of people are excited about that. So
yeah,
good.
So I think that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining us on the Deep End Live, and we hope to see you maybe in a month. They keep asking us to do it again, so we must be doing okay.
I guess so. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving, guys.
Thanks for joining us for this week's Deep End Podcast. We pray that you continue to grow in your faith and that you would serve and support your local church. If you don't already have a church home, we invite you to join us this weekend at Waters Church. We are located at 57 John Deach Square in North Attleboro, Massachusetts, and you can join us every Saturday at 4 p.m. and Sunday mornings at 9:30 and 11:30 a.m. Make sure to stay tuned in for next week's episode of The Deep End Podcast.